You guys ready to level up in 2026? Well, on today's segment of Motivational Monday, I'm going to share with you one thing that's going to allow you to do just that. What's going on, champions? It's your coach MJ back at you with another episode of Sats and Success. It's time for us to learn and grow, so let's go. Yes, let's go ahead and get our week primed for success. I apologize in advance if I sound funny in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I've been dealing with this illness, had me down all weekend, but I had to make sure that I brought this video here for you on today, because it is this time of the year every year where I actually sit down and I assess my year. Yes, I'm going to assess my 2025. And that's what I'm going to explain to you here today, so that we can level up and make sure that we have the type of success we want to have in 2026. It's around the corner. And before you know it, the ball is going to be dropping, and we'll be into a new year. And it's important before you go into a new year that you assess the previous year. People don't do that. I'm telling you right now, people do not take the time to sit down and assess their previous year before going into a new year. And this is one of the things that's tripping so many people up. And here's the funny thing. If you were employed by somebody, you have a year-end review. In December, it could be in January, maybe even February, but you have a year-end review to review your performance of the previous year in hopes that you can learn from some of the mistakes and failures and get better for the next year. But we don't do that in our own lives. Isn't that strange? We don't sit down and take the time to assess the previous year so that we don't trip ourselves up in the new year. And it is so critical. And this is why I'm bringing this content to you today, because it takes several weeks for you to truly, really assess your year and to start mapping out and planning out a strategy for your next year. So I'm going to sit down over the next few weeks and I'm going to take a look at all the things that I did really well, but I'm going to spend more time looking at the things that I didn't do well. The reason being is I don't, under any circumstances, want to take anything that tripped me up this year into next year. Anything that I failed at in 2025, I really want to be sure that I learn from those things and not fall for the same old okie doke. Okay? Because here's my belief. You don't just make the same mistakes over and over if you are. Your mistakes compound. So the first time you make a mistake, if you make the same mistake, it's not the same as the first time. Right? It's actually worse because you never learned from it. And the third time and the fourth time, it just compounds and gets worse and worse and worse. You may not realize it at that time, but it does. And so this is why it's very important to sit down and assess, review your year. All right. The things that went really well, excuse me. What did I do to put myself in that position? Because I want to carry more of that into my new year, right? We want to carry more of that into our new year. So we assess our year, look at the good, we look at the bad, all right? We make our adjustments, we make our assessments, and then we formulate our plan in 2026. Champions, this is having goals. This is goals, written out goals. Challenging but attainable goals. And so once we have our blueprint, once we have our plan for 2026, our goals, now we have direction for where our life is going in 2026. A lot of people are all over the place in their life because they don't have any goals. They don't have any goals. They don't even assess their life. And they wonder why they struggle. They wonder why they haven't had this breakthrough that they're looking for. This is it, champions. We got to be, and this is very simple, yet so many people will not do it. So many people don't do it. One of the things that I consistently say at the end of a lot of my segments is that knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. I'm not the only person that you've heard say, hey, make sure you have goals. That's not the first time you heard that. People have heard that many, many, many times, and yet they don't have goals. If you ask any successful individual some of the things they've done to become successful, I guarantee you, and you know this, I'm preaching to the choir when I tell you this. One of the things they're going to tell you is that they have goals. They have a vision. They have a plan written out, not just in their mind. Okay? So before I wrap this up, just to summarize, the one thing that you absolutely need to do to help you level up in 2026 is take some time to assess your 2025. Sit down, get quiet, get a pen, get a paper, write out the things that went really well, write out the things that went really bad, and start ruminating on those things. Start thinking about those things so you can strategize and make sure that you cut out the things that tripped you up in 2025 and add more of the things that allowed you to be successful in 2025. Okay? That's all I got for you guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you got any value from today's video, please do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday. I love you and I appreciate you. See you in the next one. Peace.